Dude, you try to pronounce that. Let's see.
Oh boy, Holographic Universe by Yusanin Alexander Evgenovich.
Dude,
Yeah.
Sure.
Sounds
right.
I don't know.
His thing was pretty much saying, where was I before his name? I forgot.
It was like how we're all this, or like if we were all the same.
Oh yeah, he wants to teach. Like he thinks there's 3 types of bodies of soul. Like our body that we see in the mirror, they are societal body of like our towns and stuff.
Yeah.
And then the universal body, which he didn't explain
Interesting.
what that is. But so our bodies here have like organs, this kind of stuff. Like when you have hate and anger and greed and these sins,
Sure.
as the Christians call it,
Yeah.
you get sick because you are not in homeostasis between, he calls it acids and bases,
Okay.
which are in chemistry.
Yeah.
So he thinks that there needs to be a balance for you to be healthy. And when you sin, is the simplest way to describe it, you unbalance yourself and you become sick and get ulcers, because they find that in science, like in doctor shit, right?
Yeah, you can convince yourself into a way of sickness, or you can convince yourself into a way of healing, which nobody can understand. You know how that works.
I wonder why.
Yeah.
Because we're trying to think of it in physical terms, because it's not physical. And then the societal way is when relationships don't get along. So say we fight, or I fuck your wife, or you fuck my wife. Like that's like the 10 deadly sins. Like don't kill. When you kill someone, like all this shit creates not homeostasis. I don't know what the other word for it is.
Yeah, you're like out of homeostasis. Yeah, there's no negative to it. Yeah,
no balance. And then the universe one, he didn't really explain, but he believes relationships are what solves everything. Like healthy relationships, like relationships with your body, with your mind, with the people around us. Like if we can learn at a young age how to have good relationships with each other, he believes there'd be less violence, like less fucking divorces, less crime, less terrorism, like less everything, because everything's in balance. Yeah. And everything's like working together, because we're the same organism. Like think of it, like how does our body work when something's not working right? Right. Like I don't know, I'm asking. Does it like get attacked by something, or like to get it out, or? Yeah,
it's like your body almost like attacks itself.
Yeah.
Like we have defense systems in place to kind of attack. Like if you get COVID or something, like your own cells will start to attack the foreign invader and hopefully get rid of it for you, which manifests into that sickness.
And then we could see that on a bigger field in our society. When something's not working, defenses come in towards us. And we have the same thing for like a mental immune system too. Yeah. Like when an idea comes in that we don't like our own ideas tag, it's like, that's wrong, look at this, blah, 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 which is sometimes dangerous, because sometimes it fights the wrong thing. Yeah. But I think it's just interesting that relationships could have such a big impact.
Yeah, I mean, but the hard part is that like everybody isn't fortunate enough to have positive relationships in their upbringing. You know, like it's a very reality that kids are neglected, abused, and whatnot throughout their entire childhood. So if that's the initial reaction that they have to a form of relationship that is supposed to be one of like love and care and help, then it's like, how are they ever going to unlearn that?
I don't know.
Abuse that they were taught.
How do you think? Like, because obviously you're so right. Like you get beaten. Like fucked up family home, which is most of America. Right.
A large
part of America.
Yeah, whether they're quiet about it or not.
Yeah. So I think about that a lot, and I think maybe in schools they could teach this, but this is like a therapy thing. Yeah. You know?
Yeah. And then also it's like those communities that are often like at a higher risk for those kind of behaviors don't have access to therapy or have a stigmatization to therapy. So it almost leads to this overwhelming sense of futility that it's like, okay, nothing's going to change. So it's like, why the fuck even care?
Yeah, that is that which sucks. Yeah. To have that feeling, because I have that feeling a lot. And there's this quote, I don't know who this one is either, but it's, once I was clever and I wanted to change the world, then I was wise and decided to change myself. Right. Tell me who that by? Tell me who that by? Who that by? Who that by?
That's pretty good, James. Yeah. To be able to recite that.
That one's also Rumi. So big
Rumi
guy over here.
What?
So big Rumi fan over
here.
Big
Rumi fan.
Who is Rumi?
I think he's a philosopher. Where is he from? Like what time period?
I actually don't know. Let me check.
I think it's. I want to say. Like,
you can take a stab at it.
Let's guess. I'm gonna say China.
You think he's from China?
Or like. I'm saying Asia.
Indonesia.
I like that guess.
13th century Persian.
Persia. What is that, like the pirates or something?
Where are the Persians at?
It's like west of India, Turks type area.
Geography.
Yeah.
He was a big Islamic figure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Interesting. So I never understood that. Like the reason I was able to recite it because I always saw it on like this philosopher page I follow on Instagram. I'm like, what the fuck does this mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't get it. And after reading that CIA thing,
Yeah.
it was pretty much there's an effect called. Can you look up transcendent meditation? And there's going to be a name of who made it. It's going to start with an M. But there's this guy who made transcendent meditation. Who's it say? It's a hard name.
I
right?
could not pronounce that.
give it,
Maharishi Mahesh Yogi.
yeah. So
Yeah, that guy.
there's the first name of that guy, Effect. That's the name of it. Effect.
Yeah.
Where it's pretty much when you practice this transcendent meditation, you start to have a field around yourself, and it affects everyone you're around. So there's less crime, less divorce, and they're like, what the fuck? No one understood it. They're like, how is this happening?
Yeah.
And then so they did a study where they took like 5 people and they sent them in different parts of the world and saw what happened.
Okay.
And like 4 out of the 5, things got better in those places.
Interesting. Like in the entirety of the place,
Yes.
not just in their own personal life. This is
Everything
a
around
societal
them.
positive change.
Exactly. And they're like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah. That's
I'm like, what the
fascinating.
fuck?
Right.
But just imagine. And they said if 1% did this, like learned how to do this, like that would be enough to change the world.
Sure. So then what's the drawback?
I don't know.
Why don't you do it?
Because it's hard as fuck. It takes
Okay.
20 years
So
of
it
Zen
is?
meditation.
Okay. So the drawback is time.
Yeah.
It's time.
And like, I don't know. Can you look up how to get trained in this? I think. Yeah, because I don't like. I don't know. I always want to learn how to do meditations.
Yeah.
But I go online. Like I don't.
It's cheesy now. It's too self-care. I think the idea of self-care is kind of taking a path towards for the worse.
Yeah.
you know?
It's just. It seems like something to make money now.
Yeah.
So, like every good thing in the Western world, it's definitely been monetized
There
to
we
a
go.
point where you actually probably don't know where you're going to get good or quality transcendent meditation courses. Because the first thing I found was mineisthemaster.com, and they basically were like, here's the top 5 programs for transcendent
my
meditation.
So it's bullshit.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's like the idea of it's probably not bullshit, but
Yeah.
the
The monetization.
the monetization is very much
Because now they're just
bullshit.
trying to make money off.
I mean,
it.
one of them is YouTube that they cite. So,
Okay.
yeah.
YouTube. They probably run ads on
Yeah.
it too.
I mean, it reminds me of like I'm taking a religion class right
Oh,
now
yeah?
where we look at like all religions in the United States, or like really like small sects. And so we looked at Scientology,
Ooh.
and it's the same idea where you have to pay, to go up in all these levels, and once you reach the highest level, you're supposed to reach enlightenment or
Yeah.
whatever. But then when you get there, you find out that's all just a scam, and it's all been like a big money waster throughout the entire time. So that's why I wonder if this is like that.
So when you get out at the top, would
Yeah.
they just say, "Oh, sorry, buddy, we've
yeah.
just been scamming you"?
Yeah, they like reveal the entire history that just like you've done all these things that you could have done on your own that you like don't need Scientology for, and there's no real basis in. And so like that's the big secret. I
That's
guess, of
fucked.
Scientology. Yeah, it's crazy. It's
Dude.
crazy.
What? Fuck Scientology. Screw you, Tom Cruise. You liar.
They're another one that not taxed. No church organization is taxed, so they don't pay taxes on anything.
That is scummy. I have been kind of losing faith in the church per se,
Interesting.
but because I'm like, I don't know. I'm like,
You're
I could do.
Catholic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we would go to church together.
We go.
sometimes,
We do go.
freshman
I
year.
always see you at
yeah,
church.
Yeah.
I haven't gone this semester yet.
Yeah,
but
neither.
it's just like I don't know. I feel like I could do this on my own. Like I feel like I don't need to go here
Yeah.
to do it.
I kind of miss it though. I haven't gone this semester because if I'm not there for the hours, like I block it out.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm gonna have to do it.
Yeah.
But now not going, it's like,
Yeah.
But is that good enough reason to go just to force me to do it? I don't know.
That's fair.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it. It's just like, but that's what I found interesting with all this vibration stuff and all this, like all these ancient texts have been describing what we're learning now and actually finally have the knowledge to understand in simpler terms.
Yeah.
Like I always thought of the Bible as like a children's book.
Okay.
It's like because the Old Testament was written for fucking thousands of years ago we don't even know when it was written.
Right.
Whatever. But the New Testament was written for like people of like 2,000 years ago.
Yeah.
around.
Yeah, because like what, 0 BC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like written for those people. Like now let's think about who these people are that are getting this book.
Yeah.
Like it's got to be simple because they don't know fucking what an atom is.
Right.
They don't know anything. So like how are you supposed to explain the most complex quantum mechanics, physics to people that don't understand sanitation?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you can't. So you have to
Right.
make it simpler for them. And now we finally like understand stuff, and we're looking back at these old scriptures. We're like, wait a second. Like at first there was a word and like, oh shit, this means this.
Yeah.
Like this, all these things, treat each other like thy neighbor or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, because you are me.
Right.
You
right,
know?
right. We have so many commonalities. Yeah. That's fascinating. We are the same person. You
Yeah.
know? We all have like the same evolutionary path from whatever the first thing was. You know?
But even beyond that, like we're made up from the same shit. Like
Yeah.
we are the same thing in different forms, but the same. It
but
makes
we're
no
so
sense.
different. But we're so different. I don't know. I don't know. Like I think about it. Like we were talking about animals earlier. Like if a dog looked at you and me, like would it detect a significant difference between us?
I'm not sure.
A random dog, not yours.
Oh, my dog loved me.
Yeah.
I love dogs, so every time I see a dog, I let them sniff my hand or
Yeah.
her, and they go. And I go, ooh. And then I go.
I hate that.
So how do you hate? You're like one of the first people I met that hate dogs.
Yeah,
I love dogs.
You don't know what they're thinking. I'm gonna put my hand in front of this animal that could be so hungry that it just bites my hand. You know, it's like how do you
could.
like?
But
it's
I also do
terrifying.
that with bees. Like I see a
You're
bee,
a psychopath.
and I just put my hand down, and I let it land on me, and I'm like, yeah, how's it going?
No.
Yeah,
No.
but dude, if you're friendly to them, they'll be friendly to you.
I don't believe it.
Dude, there's these
I don't believe it.
wolves in these sanctuaries, and they just get belly rubs. Like, it's so cute. Have you seen those? Dude.
That sounds like a death sentence. I
Yeah.
think.